Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Dead Man Logan, issue number 1 of 12. Wow, that really is like, it's kind of scary. It's kind of disheartening. It's like, I gotta go through 12 issues of this. It's probably gonna be monthly. I think this is monthly. I don't actually know. But like, yeah, I don't wanna go through 12 freaking issues of this. But then I read this comic book, and by the time the end came to, I was like, oh, I could sit down for 12 issues of this. You know, this might be like Old Man Hawkeye, where I just fall off of it later. This could very well be very much like, what is that, Doomsday Clock, which it's, how the heck do I fall off of a Jeff Johns book? When has that ever happened? Oh, wait, that's right. Never until Doomsday Clock came along. But this, I don't feel the need to wait for this to go to trade to read this. I'm good right now. I'm good with reading this. And this picks up directly after his battle with the Maestro, like immediately afterwards, maybe a day or two after, but wow. So Forge and a couple of the other X-Men show up, and Forge takes all of the equipment that they had in that cave. You know, the Maestro had that time machine in there, and he destroyed it. Well, Forge fixes it by the end, and he finds himself, after he fixes it, in the wasteland. Now, yeah, I kind of cut through a lot of what happened in this comic book. That, to me, is the most important part. That is awesome. Issue number 1, guys. Spoilers. So, everything else that happened in this comic book is almost irrelevant. That's the biggest deal right there. Because if you remember, in the Old Man Logan series, I can't remember who was actually writing it during that time. It might have been Brisson, I don't know. A bunch of people have been on that. Might have been Lemire for all I know. The point is, at some point, Wolverine, Old Man Logan, had talked to Forge, and they had a conversation about what happened to Forge when, you know, in the wasteland, and he knew Forge. We didn't get the full details of what happened, but we did find out some details, and we're going to find out a whole lot more. I know for a fact we're going to find out a whole lot more, because right now Forge is actually in there. So Dead Man Logan right now seems like it's also a Forge story. That's awesome. Looking forward to that. Now, there were some silly parts that happened in here. Case in point, Old Man Logan walking to the bar with no name and beating up on everybody. Come on now, there were some fairly heavy hitters in there. I figured Tarantula would have at least given him a bit more of a fight, but whatever. So he just tears through, like Tiger Shark. I remember when Tiger Shark was like the main enemy in Acts of Vengeance. What happened there? Now he's no longer tough. He did have a problem with Stingray in the Avengers, so maybe. Anyway, it looks like Blacklash is there. A bunch of people are there, man. And Miss Sinister, that's the biggest thing. Miss Sinister is there. Now that's interesting. This is Sinister because she's just there looking for some recruits. And she's able to right away read Old Man Logan's mind, and she's able to read Tarantula's mind, and she gets a certain bit of information out there. And that's interesting because over in the Return of Wolverine comic book issue number 3, they rightfully point out that Wolverine's got a lot going on in his head, and you can't just read his mind willy-nilly. Now, Jean Grey can't read his mind easily. Psylocke can't read his mind very easily. I hate to say this, but the Sinister family, the Sinister clones, they don't have psychic abilities on the level that Jean Grey and Psylocke have. So, nah, sorry. That was kind of weak. And they did show that some of it was from what's-his-face, Tarantula, but no, they did also mention that it came from Wolverine, so that's just a little odd. Anyway, we get what we've been wanting, what we've been asking for a while now. I wanted to see, a couple of us wanted to see Hawkeye hook up, young Hawkeye hooking up with Old Man Logan. That happens in here. And the main thing is that Old Man Logan is looking for, what's-his-face, Mysterio. Now, there's some crazy stuff happening with Mysterio in this freaking place that he's in. And they did, like, they've been paying attention to Peter David's run on Ben Reilly, the Scarlet Spider, because that's where we saw where Beck, Mysterio, actually was. He's hiding out in Las Vegas, just trying to hide, literally. He doesn't want any more of it. But when Miss Sinister sees what's going on inside of their heads, she's like, oh no, we're going to figure this out. Now, the ending of this, guys, I am going to spoil the ending of this comic book because this is a first issue, and this is actually kind of a big deal. So, literally, within the next 5 seconds, here it comes. They find out who's behind, who actually wants to... Miss Sinister decides that these people would actually be a good group to hang out with to enact what eventually led to the Wasteland, the Old Man Logan original story, when the villains actually came up and fought against the heroes. And these are the villains that we're talking about. That's right, it's Neo Hydra. Hail Neo Hydra, they're all yelling at each other. What? So this is very interesting. Now, I want to know why Miss Sinister is so interested in this group, because I can see it. Because she's very much, she thinks that mutants should just be, maybe she's going to be like the Dr. Mandalay for the Nazis. You know what I'm saying? I think his name was Mandalay. Anyway, Dr. Mengele, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's going to be doing a bunch of experiments on them, possibly. So this is going to be the cover of the next issue, it looks like. I'm sure that's not going to happen directly, but either way, looks good, dude. Now, probably one of my favorite parts is actually this. The in memorandum of the Logan family. This is actually a Daily Bugle report from the future, all right? And there's actually a whole article there about Wolverine's family, Old Man Logan's family, being murdered by the Hulk gang in the future, that one supposed future. And it's written like it actually comes from the future, too. There's a bunch of, like in modern day reporting, you'd never see what you know about that and stuff like, you'd never see weaker English language in there, but in this, it exists, and damn, it's good. It's actually really fun, and you get a little bit more info on what happened back then that Mark Millar never expounded upon. Ed Brisson does. Good book, dude. This is a really good book, and I'm definitely looking forward to reading this book in the future, man. I'm hoping it's not going to be monthly. I hope it's going to be twice weekly. That's what I'm really hoping on. But if it's not, I'll still read the book, you know? Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.